Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing good today. Hope everybody's stayed cool on this warm Thursday. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get on. Hope everybody's doing good. And as you come on, let me know who's on with me. Put it in the chat. I hope everybody had a great, great day today. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get on. It's good to be back at it, doing what I love to do. And we have moved the times. We'll do it every other Thursday at 7. And as always, this is S.O.P. Presents Tidbits with Peaches. Um, the S.O.P. is for Shalom of Peace Ministries. With the pastors, Pastor Prophet James McCallum. Hey, Lachey Watson, hope you're doing good. Out of Archdale, North Carolina. And of course, I am Peaches. I'm trying to give everybody a few minutes to get on. I tried to put it out in time enough to know that I was doing it today because I haven't done it in a couple of Thursdays. But we're here and we're waiting on a few more people to join. And I hope you guys had an awesome day today. I'm going to shout out the businesses real quick and go ahead and get that over with. I'm not going to be on here long today. I'm just going to drop what I got and get off. So I have triple C's. Hey, Portia Danielle. I have triple C's out of Monroe, North Carolina with Sheikah Clark. She does all kinds of cake. Hey, Evan, cakes, any kind of sweet treats you need. She does an awesome job. We have Prime America Insurance with Pastor McCallum, Charity McCallum, and Darius Baxter. Hey, Maj, if you need any kind of life insurance, hey, Pastor. If you need any kind of life insurance, reach out to Pastor McCallum, Charity, or hey, sister, or Darius. Hey, Jess, they can help you with that. We have Majestic Collection, which is Markeisha Johnson, and she's out of High Point, and she's having an awesome sale. She makes some beautiful bracelets. So if you're in the area of those with those little pearls and things, reach out to Markeisha. She is doing that out of High Point, and that's Majestic Collections. I have Triple M Rentals, which is Jessica, Charity, and Evan. If you're in the need of any balloon arches for retirement parties, any kind of celebrations, reach out to those young ladies. I also have By Faith Travels with Lenore Bennett. If you're needing an agent to help book a trip, reach out to her. She has a Facebook page. We have Lachey Jackson Green out of Wadesboro, North Carolina. She has Trendy Travels, and she also has Trendsetters Salon. We also have Pool Automotive, which is here in Moore County. If you're looking for a car, reach out to Pastor D.R. Bennett. My friend Junior has a music store in Virginia, which he has so much more. He does guitar lessons, piano lessons, and our bass player, Kiara, which is his daughter, she does drum lessons there in Virginia. We have Latoya Sullivan with Divine Accessories and Phenomenal You Accessories. She has a page as well. We had Drawers of Hope with Sarah Graham out of High Point, North Carolina. She does an awesome job working with the youth. She does tutoring. She does all sorts of things. She does have a food pantry there. Be on the lookout for her page. She does take donations and volunteers. Blessed Hands is Tim Marshall. He offers pressure washing, lawn care, and car detailing. He is in Anson, Union, and Mecklenburg, and he does travel. B&J's Creation is with Monica Gramlin. She does awesome work. She does sneakers, t-shirts, stoves, The fans, she does all kinds of things. And we have Cooking with Love with Taquita Marsh out of Anson County. She is a catering. You can reach out to her. Ferris Child Care out of Morven, North Carolina, which is Anson County and surrounding areas. She does provide transportation if you're looking for that. And we also have Trinity Coaching, which is myself. If anyone is in need of a life coach, motivational speaker, anything like that, you can hit me in my inbox. And I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, I am sorry. And if you have a business that you want us to shout out, get it to me and I'll be more than happy to do that. And if you're in the market for a house, reach out to none other than Jessica Baxter. You can see her page on Facebook. Rent, buy, sell, whatever you need to do, check out Jessica Baxter. All right. And if you're in need of childcare, I can't leave out Little Disciples of Joy out of High Point, North Carolina. S.O.P presents Little Disciples of Joy. If you're in the surrounding areas of Gifford County and you need childcare, reach out to that one of those young ladies. You can reach out to Lenora Bennett, Jessica Baxter, any of those. And if you need childcare, that's Little Disciples of Joy. All right. So let's get into it. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody had an awesome day. Again, this is S.O.P presents Tidbits with Peaches. We do this every other Thursday at 7 o'clock. And yes, I'm talking fast. All right. So tonight I want to quickly talk about letting go, which is hard for some of us to do. Sometimes, hey, Lenore, sometimes letting go or waiting or being patient is some of the hardest things for us to do, especially I'm talking about a Black woman. It is really hard for us to let go sometimes or be patient or be mindful in the waiting of things. We want it to happen when we want it to happen. And sometimes we hold on to things so tight, like it's just ours for dear life. I can't, it done become a part of us. I can't let it go. Who am I without this particular thing? But to let go simply means to release one's grip on someone or something. Sometimes you got to release the grip. You got to let it go. Release the grip on it. Loosen your hand so it can be free from you. You have to be able to understand that holding on to things that do not bring you peace, does not enhance your life, does not make your life better, is not what we need to do in this season. Anything that's keeping you boggled down, that's got your mind all over the place where you're not focused on what you need to be focused on, not focused on what God needs you to be focused on, you need to let it go. Relinquish it. Loosen the grip on it. Stop holding on to it so tight. Why do you hold on to it so tight? Because it become a part of you. So if you release it, you lose your identity, because that particular thing has become you. It has become you. So you hold on to it so tight that you can't even imagine it not being in your life because it's been there so long. It doesn't always have to be a person. It can be something. It can be hurt. It can be pain. It can be depression. You have to be able to relinquish it and let it go, because you have to even with depression, sometimes people say, well, you can't talk about it because you never been through it. Even with depression, you have to understand that I don't have to hold on to this. I can relinquish the rights to this. I can let it go because I want better. I want to feel better. So in that sense, you have to relinquish it, let it go, whatever it may be. If it's causing you pain or disturbing your peace, let it go. There's a scripture that says there's a time and a place for everything. Ecclesiastes 3:6 says a time to get and a time to loose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. So at some point, you got to cast it away. So you can reach or achieve what you need to achieve. You got to cast it away. Stop holding on to it so tight that you can't let it go, or you can't move past that thing or whatever it is, whether it be a person or whether it be a thing, whether it be pain, whether it be hurt. You have to be able to cast it away. You have to be able to relinquish that. You're in control of that. Nobody else can do that for you but you. Nobody else can come say, give me this. If you holding on to it so tight, how are they gonna get it? Or how are you gonna release it? That's just like you balling your fist and your hands are tight. You're holding on to it so tight that nothing gets in there. So how is peace gonna come in? How is love gonna come in? How is peace gonna come in? How are anything gonna come in if you're holding on to it so tight that you're not allowing anything else in but that? If it's hurt you're holding on to so tight, how is love, how is peace going to come in if you're holding on so tight? How is it going to come in If you're holding on to dysfunction, how is it going to ever be able to be a functional situation if you're holding on to dysfunction? So how is it going to change? You have the power. You have that thing to let go of. You can only you can do that. I can't come in and say, for example, sister, I need you to let that go, and you don't really want to let it go. I can keep telling you to let it go, but until you decide to let it go, it don't matter how many people come say, girl, you need to let that go so you can move on. We need to get past that. It don't matter. Because first of all, it's you holding on to it. It's you going through it. It's you that have been through it. So you will be the one to have to let it go. You will have to be the one to release it. You would have to be the one to say, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this controlling every aspect of my life. I've had enough of this being the only thing that I can think about day in and day out. I've had enough. When you can get to the place to say I've had enough of it, then you can let it go. It don't matter how many times somebody pray or what somebody tell you, how much coaching you get, how much money you done paid to sit on that therapist chair. But until you decide to let it go, it don't matter. You control that. You have to let it go. You have to say, I don't want that in my life anymore. I don't want that pain in my life anymore. I don't want that hurt in my life anymore. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So that sense, I'm letting it go. I'm relinquishing that. I'm turning that over. You know, a few Thursdays ago, we said, cast all your cares on God, for he careth for you. So when you release it, that means I'm giving it to you, God. I'm not going to put my hand out there. I'm not going to snatch it back. I'm not going to take it back. I'm relinquishing that because I know in Ecclesiastes, it said a time to get, a time to loose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away. And what time are you? What time are you in right now? Are you trying to hold on to it? Are you trying to relinquish it? It's a time to lose. It's a time to win. So we have to be mindful of that. Hey, and yes, I don't want it anymore. That's right, Evan. You have to decide that you don't want it anymore. You have to make that decision. It's your life. You have to decide that I don't want that in my life. I don't want that in my mind anymore. I don't want that clouding my thoughts anymore. I want to be able to hear from God. But how can you hear from him when there's so much going on in there? So you can't hear what he wants you to hear or be able to move the way he wants you to move because you got so much that you're holding on to. You have to be able to say, I don't want it. I'm letting it go. I'm moving past this. I've had enough of this. When you say enough is enough, then things begin to change. It's you that has to say it. I can't say it for you. Pastor can't say it for you. Mother can't say it for you. You have to be the one to say, I've had enough of this. Why am I ending up here all the time? I'm holding on to this so tight. I got to let it go. I don't want to keep ending up here. I don't want to keep going through this. I want to be at peace. I want happiness. I want love. I want joy. So whatever's keeping me from getting to those things, I'm releasing it. I'm letting it go. I want to move past this. I want my latter to be greater than my former. So that means whatever I was holding on to in my past, I got to let it go so I can step into my future. I can't keep holding all that stuff thinking that I'm going to walk into what's mine if I'm holding on to the past. Let it go. Even if it's past hurt, deal with it. Feel it, let it go. You have to begin to allow yourself to feel that hurt and that pain and deal with it and let it go. You're holding on to it because you really don't want to deal with it. Sometimes we as people, we'll rather hold it in and hold it tight so I don't have to deal with it. But you got to deal with it so you can heal from it. You got to deal to heal. So if you don't deal, how you going to heal? So you got to be able to deal with it, relinquish it, and then let it go. Stop holding on to hurt. Stop holding on to pain like that. Stop holding on to all the negative things that have happened in your life. Release the negative and accept the positive. Until you release the negative, how are you going to accept the positive? You know, you can't. Yes, life has had, some of us have had some ups and downs, and some of us, life has been lifing, and I mean lifing, but that's life. So you have to acknowledge that and move on. I'm not going to stay there, even though sometimes I have to cry. Even sometimes, I always say, it's okay not to be okay. Every day I'm not okay. I accept that, but I'm not going to stay there. Some nights I may have to cry, but I'm not going to cry every night. Some days I might not feel 100. I might be 80, but it won't always be like this. You have to remember that to know that it won't always be like that. Seasons change. There's a song that says God is going to perfect that which is concerning me sooner. I don't like the later part. I like to say sooner rather than later, it's going to turn and work in my favor because I'm acknowledging that. So I'm releasing, relinquishing that because I know some things I'm going to have to endure. I'm going to have to go through some trials. I'm going to have some heartache. I'm going to shed some tears, but it won't always be like this. I won't always feel like this. So I'm going to let it go to know that, yeah, in that moment it hurt, but I'm not going to hold on to it. In that moment, I was unsure, but I'm not going to hold on to that. I may have wavered a little bit, but I'm not going to hold on to that. I'm going to let it go. And letting go of it, that means I'm accepting that it was. But now I'm letting it go so I can walk into what is. So that's the thing that I like to say. And that's what I want you to remember today, that it's okay to let it go. Stop holding on to that trauma like that. It's trauma. Let it go. Deal with it and release it. Don't let your trauma make you bitter. Let your trauma make you better. And don't hold on to it so tight that it destroys the rest of your life. Yes, it was hard. Yes, it was difficult. Yes, it caused you some pain. Okay, yes, I did. I went through that. Yes, that happened to me, but I'm not going to let it define who I am. It's not going to stop me from reaching my goals. It's not going to stop me from walking into my purpose. It's not going to stop me from being who God ordained me to be. It's not going to stop me in my tracks anymore. I had that to happen to me. It wasn't good. It wasn't my fault, but I acknowledged the trauma. I dealt with the trauma. Now I'm letting the trauma go. So whatever it was, I'm letting it go so I can move on to the next. I can't move to the next stuck in the ears right now. I can't do that. You can't step into what's next if you always stuck in what was. So what was is what you need to let go of. The pain of it, let it go and move on. If that relationship is causing you not to be your best self, then maybe you need to consult God and find out if that's what you need to be in. Or if that's not always meaning a boy or a girl relationship, it could be a friendship. It could be any type of relationship. If it's not benefiting you, if it's not bringing you peace, if it's disturbing your peace, then you need to have a conversation with God and be like, do I need to walk away from this? Because sometimes friendships cannot be healthy ones either. Some friendships can be toxic, just like some relationships can be. That's when you need to say, okay, is it time for me to let this go? Do I need to try to stay in this and fix this? That's a conversation you need to have with yourself and God. So whatever you need to let go of today, you might need to let it go. So you can walk into happiness, so you can walk into joy, that you can walk into peace, that you can walk into what is supposed to be your life. Sometimes we be trying to figure out why. And then sometimes we're holding on to things so tight that we can't get what's supposed to be ours, or we can't have what God has already predestined for us because we're holding on to that thing so tight that He can't come in and give us what we desire or what we need because we're holding on to what was so tight. So just remember that. Remember that letting go means relinquishing one's grip on someone or something. So relinquish that. Take your grip off of it. Step back for a minute and be like, okay, I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna revisit this thing. I'm gonna reevaluate it. I'm gonna see what's what. I'm gonna see what it's gonna do and how it's gonna benefit my life. I always like to say stuff like that. At this season or this stage in the game, anything that's in your life, it should be bringing you purpose, peace, and that is benefiting you, especially when you're at this age, at my age, or on up, and the way the world is set up, time is winding up. So right now, you should be trying to figure out, okay, God, what do I need to do to get closer to you? I need to make sure that I'm at peace with everything, that me and you have a good understanding, that me and God are in a good relationship. And when you're in a good relationship with God, that trickles down into your natural relationships. So sometimes you do have to let some things go so that you can step into what belongs to you. Stop holding on to stuff so tight. Yeah, it may hurt your feelings, but if it's not benefiting you and if it's not bringing you peace and it's not aligning with what God has for you, then maybe you need to say, okay, I got to let this go. Be like Teddy Pendergrass said, look like another love TKO. You better let it go. Let it go so you can get to where you need to get to. Let it go so you can walk with God and that you can have what He already predestined for you to have. And sometimes we as believers, we like, well, what is taking so long, God? Where you at? And He's saying, well, you got to relinquish some of that other stuff. You got to loose that grip so I can get in there. You holding on so tight, I can't get in there to give you what I want you to have. See, you holding on to what you want, You ain't stopped to say, well, God, what do you want for me? What is your will for my life? What do you want for me? So that means I got to open up this thing some. I got to let some of this stuff go so I can get what he has for me, because he knows what's best for me. He don't want to hurt me. He want to do what's best for me. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to have love. He wants us to have peace. He wants you to have those things, but you got to loosen, let the grip of what it is go, so he can come in and give you what's best for you. So he can show you what life is really about, and what love is, unconditional love. Agape love is unconditional. See, he loves us unconditional, and by him loving us unconditionally, that means he wants what's best for us, because we his kids, we king kids, right? So the king wants what's best for his kids. So what do you want? God already know what he wants. He just waiting on you to align or get in line with what he wants for you, because he know what's best for you. Sometimes we get so caught up in what we want. And then if it's not happening right, you're trying to figure it out, well, what's going on? But did you stop to say, big God, what do you want for me? What is it that you see in my life? What do you want for me? What is it that you already had planned for me? That's where, I'm at now. I'm like, God, what is it? I done tried it my way. It didn't work good. So at some point, you got to be honest with yourself. Be like, God, I done tried my way. It ain't working. So now I'm coming to you saying, God, what was your plan? What was your will? What did you want me to do? What path did you want me to take? Because it says if we acknowledge him in all of our ways, he'll direct our path. So in everything we do, acknowledge him. God, what is your will for my life? God, do I need to move to this job, or do I need to stay here? God, what do I need to do? How do I need to move? How do I need to say this, God? Then, is this the business that I need to be doing, God? Is this what I need to be doing? Those are the questions we have to ask sometimes. And in doing that, I promise you, it'll all begin to fall in place. In everything you do, acknowledge him. Even when you get up in the morning, God, I'm acknowledging you in all of my ways. I'm expecting you to direct my path today. Why? Because the steps of a righteous man are ordered by God. So God, I'm acknowledging you, and I'm expecting you to order my steps today. I need you to order my steps. I even say, God, order my mouth, order my sight, order my hearing. So everything is ordered by God in my life. In my life. Because when I begin to let go, I want him to order my steps. When you begin to let it go, then you want to come back and say, God, please order my steps. Please order my steps, God. When you begin to say, God, I'm letting this stuff go, but I'm going to acknowledge you even while I'm letting it go, so you can begin to direct my path, so you can begin to order my steps, so I can begin to walk into what you have for me. Not always about what he said he'll give you the desires of your heart if you delight yourself in him. So delight yourself in God. Acknowledge him every day. Let it go so he can order your steps. That's just it. And I promise you, he going to do what needs to be done. Begin to do that every day. Let it go. If you don't hear nothing else I said today, let it go. Whatever it is that's not benefiting you and it's causing you pain, let it go. At some point, you got to let it go. Let it go. Whatever your it is, begin to let it go. God, I want better. God, I want to feel better. God, I want to move better. I want to speak better. I want to see better. So in order to do those things, God, I'm letting it go. Whatever is blocking me, whatever is keeping me from you, I'm letting it go. Whatever your it is, let it go. Let it go. Whatever your it is today, let it go. I hope that has helped somebody. And I'm finna get off of here. But I enjoyed y'all. I love y'all. I thank y'all for taking out y'all time to sit and listen to me talk. Because that's what I be doing, talking. But I'm thankful, and I love God, and I love y'all. And I'm praying for everybody, because I feel like in this season, there are some things that we are going to have to let go in order to make it to the next level. In order to have some peace and happiness, we're going to have to let some things go, so we can get what's ours and what God has for us. So let it go. I love you too. I'm not going to say that name, Pooh Gal. So I love you, Pooh Gal. And if you're not busy, July 29th at 6 p.m. And you are in what is it, Gifford County and surrounding areas. Bring your youth out. We'll have a youth joy night. We'll have a dynamic speaker. I'm personally inviting you July 29th at 6 at Shalom of Peace Ministries in Archdale, North Carolina. Bring your youth out at 6 p.m. if you're not busy. That's right, Evan. I want what's mine. I want what's mine too. And I hope y'all want what's yours too. Everybody, grab yours. What's yours? I love y'all, and there's nothing you can do about it. And y'all have an awesome Thursday.